Ace 1025 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app. We are streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live every single day. We have a new NFLPA report card that just came out a few minutes ago, so we'll touch on that. We'll also catch up with Jonathan Hutton, Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow in 1 hour. We'll get Hutton's thoughts on maybe not the most glowing remarks from the Tennessee Titans. It's also what we heard from Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon as they went on a media car wash yesterday on our station, on a press conference with the national media in Indianapolis. So we'll get into all of that with Jonathan Hutton in 1 hour. But allow me to start today's show by saying, how about those Predators? My goodness, sixth game in a row, sixth win in a row, rather, 4-1 win over the Ottawa Senators last night. Roman Josi was red freaking hot. I felt like we were about due for a Roman Josi game.
Well, he gave it to you.
And we got it.
He gave the people what they wanted. So, good for him. Now, can y'all, those that were scared about this being a trap game, can we let that go and kind of move on? I mean,
no.
Y'all
Because
make more of a bigger
matters.
deal. Y'all make more of a bigger deal than actually the players. The players, we don't think about trap games and all that other stuff. We just think about going out there and playing. It's like, no, we've been playing well, and we want to continue to play well. And, if we, you don't go out and play to lose. You go out and play to win. And if we play hard and we still end up winning, it's not like, oh, that was a trap game, so you lost. Now, if I can see if they went out there and laid an egg, and it's like, okay, that ain't what we've been seeing for the last 5 or 6 games. Man, that was bad. But either way you slice it, players are like, we just want to go out there and can try to continue this momentum, which I think momentum is huge in sports. Some people don't think that way. Some people don't believe it. And I understand, but, being a part of teams and when it gets on the road, it may not be momentum. Let's just say the confidence. The confidence is higher on everybody. Now I feel that I can do a little bit more. I feel good about my play. I feel good about my defense, my offense, what we're doing, how we're playing the net. I feel good about all that. So that's the confidence, and confidence, I think, breeds momentum in the team. And you saw that last night in the Nashville Predators. They're just, these were games that we looked at, Willie, when y'all first went on the road trip. We said these are games that are truly winnable games. Yeah. These are games they have to win, and they won them, and they continue to win. Now they got a tough task against Minnesota tomorrow night, but I think they're doing exactly what they wanted to be doing, or sitting in the space they wanted to be sitting this time of year, where they're still in the hunt. They're still playing meaningful hockey games. And not only playing meaningful hockey games, these young guys are contributing, and they're contributing big for the team.
It's really fun to watch. And it's not like they're making – now, last night, that goal by Josi, when the game was still 2-1.
And I was getting a little nervous.
I was like, man,
and you're
please
thinking,
score another
who's
goal.
going to get this next goal here? Because you're looking at the Senators.
Don't make this more interesting than it needs to be.
Yeah, and the Senators are a team that can score. They give up a lot of goals, but they score. And you're thinking, if they have a surge, this game could be still pretty hairy. And then Josi makes a highlight reel goal. That was big. And those are the kind of goals that he can score. His numbers have been really good. If you take a look, you take away, as we've said a few times this year, take away the first 6 or 7 games. I think he had 1 point or so in the first 6 or 7. Now he's over a point per game since then. So the numbers are there. It's been a little bit different how he's done it. But last night was the kind of goal that he's capable of, where just a great individual move. And I think Andrew Burnett is seeing that and saying he could do more of that. If we can get that next level. Now we're getting up to like Norris level kind of play from him. And that's what, honestly, they're going to need. Right now, everybody's pitching in, and it's awesome to watch. Like the tenacity of the guys at the bottom level, McCarron, Sherwood, and Smith are
Big
really
Sexy with
inspiring.
a goal last night.
Yeah, they're inspiring everybody else, right? They're not the most talented players, but, man, they're playing hard, and they're playing rugged, and they're kind of invigorating the whole team, setting the tone. He's starting those guys. You notice, like, your starting 5 isn't that important in hockey as opposed to basketball, because whoever starts is coming out in 45 seconds, right?
Exactly.
But there's a message sometimes with who you start. And when you start your guys like that, you're saying these are the guys that are going to set the energy level. You know, they almost scored on the very first shift of the game. It was a good shot that they got. Then they come back on the ice and they do score.
Great start.
Yes, the start was fantastic. And then all of a sudden, for about the next 20, 25 minutes of the game, Ottawa pushed back, and it could have gone either way. Then, of course, they sprint to the finish line and blow them away. 19-0 the shots in the third period. That's one of the most dominating periods I've ever seen a Predator team play. That just doesn't happen. 19-0.
Did you see, because in watching it, it just seemed like they were a little bit more grittier than Ottawa. And I understand Ottawa had just played a game the night before. They were sort of on their same, the same schedule as the Predators were. So it was like back-to-back young team. You just played the night before you get in. So you may not have had your, skating legs up underneath you the whole night. But even with that, it seemed like the Predators were always pushing the issue. They were, mucking it up. They were going after every puck, even when it seemed like they didn't need to go after a puck. They were going after the puck, and they to me they wore Ottawa down. Again, a part of it could be that Ottawa had just played the night before and they lost, but it just seemed like as the periods went on, even though the second period you can give a little bit to Ottawa in a sense. But the Predators wore them down, and in that third period, it was just all Predators and no Ottawa.
And to that point, the Senators played the night before. I was worried about the exhaustion level of the Predators.
Yeah, fourth game in 6 nights.
Yeah.
Fourth game in 6 nights, long road trip. They traveled back on Monday, so it's not like they had that extra night before to get home and be in their own beds and be in their own homes. I was worried about the exhaustion level of the Predators. Although, we saw they came out to a hot start. I think they kind of plateaued a little bit at the later part of the first period. But still, overall, they found that second level of confidence, of energy. And it was just really encouraging to see. Because, D-Mase, you talk about how players don't worry about trap games. I worry about trap games. And it's because we've seen this Predators team get hot and cold. And where do they get cold? More likely than not, it's been at home. They haven't played their best brand of hockey at home. So I was worried, okay, long road trip. You're riding that high from the long road trip. You're coming against a team that hasn't been playing very well this season. You've got a really big game on Thursday. Are you maybe going to overlook this one? And they didn't. And that was incredibly encouraging to see. And that sets up another huge game on Thursday. John Hines and the Minnesota Wild coming